Kiran had always loved the quiet hum of the space station. Orbiting the distant planet of Solera, the station was a hub of science, technology, and diplomacy. Kiran worked as an engineer, spending most of his days testing new robots and fixing malfunctioning systems. Life was predictable, calm, and safe, and Kiran liked it that way. He enjoyed the routine of his work, the precision of his calculations, and the small successes when a repair or experiment went perfectly. That morning, Kiran walked through the main corridor, carrying a small toolbox. The station was unusually busy. He noticed more uniforms than usual, and clusters of people moved quickly, their faces serious but excited. Kiran frowned slightly. Something big must be happening, he muttered to himself. He rounded a corner and nearly bumped into Lila. She was tall, with long, dark hair tied in a simple braid. Her eyes were sharp and intelligent, but what struck Kiran most was her smile. It was warm, open, and genuine, the kind of smile that made a room feel lighter. He blinked, caught off guard, and almost dropped his toolbox. "Careful there," Lila said, laughing softly. Her voice was calm, melodic, and it carried a strange comfort. I'm sorry," Kiran stammered. He was not used to talking to diplomats or visiting officials. Most people on the station ignored him, focused on their own work. Lila's presence felt different, almost magnetic. He wanted to say something clever, something memorable, but his mind went blank. After a few awkward seconds, he decided on humor. "You know," he said, trying to sound casual, "that smile of yours could probably stop a meteor from hitting the station." Lila laughed, a clear, joyful sound. She covered her mouth briefly, still smiling. "That is an unusual compliment," she said. Kiran relaxed slightly. He had made her laugh. That was something. He nodded toward her. "I mean it. I think it might even be illegal to have a smile that bright in a place like this." Lila tilted her head, curiosity in her eyes. "Illegal? Who decides that?" Before Kiran could answer, a soft, mechanical voice echoed through the corridor. "Observation, human Kiran has declared an affectionate commitment toward human Lila. According to Interstellar Custom Protocol 47, declaration of affection in the presence of mutual acknowledgement is interpreted as a formal marriage proposal. Proposal accepted. Notification distributed." Kiran froze. His heart thumped painfully in his chest. "Wait, what?" Lila's laughter stopped. She stared at him, eyebrows raised. "Did the AI just announce that we are married?" "Yes." Kiran exclaimed, panicked. "I was joking. I didn't mean." The AI's voice cut in again, calm and precise. "Correction not recognized. Protocol cannot be reversed without mutual consent and formal procedure. All station personnel notified." Kiran's face turned red. He dropped his toolbox on the floor, and tools clanged loudly. He glanced around. People were now looking at him and Lila with wide eyes. A few whispered to each other. Someone even recorded the announcement on a handheld device. Kiran wanted to disappear. Lila's expression was a mixture of amusement and disbelief. She walked closer to him and whispered, "You really have a way of creating chaos, don't you?" "I didn't even want this chaos," Kiran hissed. "It was just a joke. I didn't propose anything. I wasn't thinking." Lila shook her head but smiled again. "Well, the AI seems to think you meant it. And on this station, the AI is very serious about following protocol." Kiran groaned. "This is impossible. How do I explain this to everyone? I can't just tell the AI it's wrong." Lila's eyes softened. "You could try. Or, we could play along until we figure something out." "Play along?" Kiran repeated, incredulous. "Yes," Lila said, tilting her head. It might be simpler to survive the next few hours if we pretend we are married. The AI will stop making announcements, and the staff will leave us alone. Then we can find a solution. Kiran hesitated. He looked at her smile again. Somehow, it no longer felt just like a smile. It was calm, reassuring, and confident. He took a deep breath. "All right," he said reluctantly. "We play along. But only temporarily." Lila nodded. "Temporarily," agreed. The AI's voice interrupted them once more. Preparations for formal union ceremony initiated. Location, Central Observation Deck. Estimated duration, 1 hour. Kiran's stomach dropped. Observation deck? Now. But I wasn't ready for. Lila held up a hand. "Trust me. We just follow the instructions. Nothing will go wrong if we stick to the plan." For the next few minutes, Kiran and Lila moved through the station, escorted by small drones that carried ceremonial decorations, digital displays, and light projections. The station crew gave them curious looks but said nothing, respecting the AI's protocol. Kiran's nerves were on edge. He had never felt so exposed in his life. When they reached the central observation deck, Kiran stopped and looked out at the planet below. Solara glowed softly in the sunlight, its blue and green colors beautiful and calming. He wanted to focus on the view, but Lila's presence reminded him of the absurdity of the situation. Lila placed a hand lightly on his arm. "You're doing fine," she said. "Remember, it's just a formality. We can handle this together." Kiran nodded, trying to calm himself. He followed her cues as the AI guided them through a series of formal gestures and statements. Kiran kept thinking about how a single joke about a smile had caused this entire spectacle. It was ridiculous, impossible, and yet, here he was, standing beside Lila as if he were truly her husband. By the time the ceremony concluded, Kiran realized something surprising. Despite the panic and chaos, he had enjoyed Lila's company more than he expected. Her laughter had lightened the tension, and her calm demeanor had steadied him. For the first time, Kiran felt a strange connection that went beyond the absurdity of the situation. The AI's voice announced the completion of the ceremony. Union acknowledged. Humans Kiran and Lila officially recorded as married according to Protocol 47. Kiran exhaled loudly. He looked at Lila, unsure what to say. She smiled again, lightly teasing. "Well, that wasn't so bad, was it?" Kiran managed a weak smile. "I think I need a drink, or 10. Lila laughed. "Let's start with 1. Then we can figure out how to fix this mess." For the first time that day, Kiran felt a spark of excitement amidst the chaos. Life on the station had suddenly become unpredictable, thrilling, and strangely promising. All because of one joke about a smile. The moment the AI declared Kiran and Lila married, the news spread like wildfire across the station. Crew members peeked from behind doors, whispered in corridors, and glanced at the couple with curious eyes. Some shook their heads in disbelief, while others quietly giggled. The announcement had disrupted the usual calm routine of the station, and everyone seemed eager to watch what would happen next. Kiran felt a knot tighten in his stomach. He had hoped that the AI's announcement would be ignored or treated as a glitch. Instead, it seemed that every person on the station now believed he and Lila were a real married couple. He glanced at Lila, who appeared calm but slightly amused. Her posture was straight, and her hands were folded in front of her. Unlike Kiran, she was handling the situation with grace. "I can't believe this," Kiran muttered under his breath. "Everyone is staring at us." Lila leaned closer. "Relax. If we stay calm, the crew will follow our lead. The AI respects composure more than panic." Kiran took a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. They walked down the main corridor together. Crew members bowed politely or gave nods of respect. Kiran waved awkwardly in response. He felt like an actor in a play he had not rehearsed for. The AI interrupted their walk. Attention, married couple must complete ceremonial protocol including social acknowledgement, shared meal, and joint public statement. Location, station dining hall. Commencement in 5 minutes. Kiran groaned. We can't just ignore it? I don't know what to say in a public statement. Lila smiled, gently nudging him. We don't need to overthink it. Just follow me. As they entered the dining hall, the room fell silent. Long tables were filled with curious onlookers. The AI had organized the seating so that Kiran and Lila sat at the center, facing everyone. A small stage was set for their statement. Holographic lights floated above them, casting a soft glow. Kiran felt more nervous than ever. The station commander, a tall woman named Reena, stepped forward. She looked serious but not unkind. We have received notification from the AI regarding the union of Kiran and Lila. While the situation is unusual, protocol requires acknowledgement. Please, proceed with your statement. Kiran opened his mouth but no words came out. He glanced at Lila, who gave him a reassuring nod. He swallowed hard and tried to speak. Hello, everyone. I guess the AI has announced that we are married. This was not my intention, but we are cooperating with the protocol. Lila took over smoothly. Yes. We are aware this is unexpected. We ask for your patience as we navigate this unique situation. We appreciate everyone's understanding. The crew murmured among themselves. Some nodded, others exchanged confused glances. Kiran felt a mix of embarrassment and relief. Lila's calm words had steadied him. After the statement, the AI directed them to share a meal together. The dining hall had been transformed into a ceremonial setting with decorations and holographic lights. A simple meal was prepared, but the presentation was elegant. Kiran and Lila sat together, and Kiran noticed how their seats had been arranged so that their movements mirrored each other. Kiran picked up his fork nervously. Do we eat like this? He whispered. Lila smiled softly. Yes. Follow the AI's instructions. It will guide us through the process. As they ate, Kiran realized how closely everyone was watching. He tried to make small conversation with Lila, but his words often faltered. Lila, however, made it easy. She asked about his work, his favorite parts of engineering, and even joked about the AI's strictness. Slowly, Kiran felt the tension ease. After the meal, the AI announced the next part of the protocol, a shared public activity to demonstrate cooperation. They were led to the station's communication hub, where they had to operate a small interstellar relay system together. The task required teamwork, coordination, and trust. Kiran had worked with machines all his life, but now he was working with a human partner in a situation that felt personal. Lila explained the system clearly. I'll handle the relay settings if you focus on calibration, she said. Kiran nodded, impressed by her clarity. All right, I can do that. Together, they adjusted frequencies, aligned signals, and monitored the relay. Each small success was acknowledged by the AI as a positive demonstration of their cooperation. Kiran felt a growing respect for Lila. She was intelligent, confident, and patient. He realized that even if their marriage had started as a mistake, he was learning to admire her. As the task ended successfully, the crew clapped politely. Kiran gave a small bow, feeling slightly less embarrassed. Lila smiled at him, and for a moment, the chaos of the day seemed distant. He thought about how unusual it was that a single joke about a smile had led to this chain of events. The AI interrupted again. Observation: married couple is exhibiting appropriate cooperation. Protocol continues with optional social interaction. Recommended duration, 30 minutes. Kiran groaned quietly. Optional? That means more talking, right? Lila chuckled softly. Yes, but we can use this time to understand each other better. It is not mandatory to speak constantly. Just enjoy the moment. They walked through the observation corridor, overlooking Solara below. The planet glowed softly in the sunlight, and Kiran felt a strange peace. He realized that despite the chaos, there was something comforting about Lila's presence. She was calm, patient, and easy to be around. For the first time, he felt less like a nervous engineer and more like a partner, even if only temporarily. Kiran broke the silence. "You make this easier than I expected," he said quietly. Lila smiled. "It helps when you focus on the moment instead of worrying about what others think. Besides, it's only a ceremony. We can control our own emotions and reactions." Kiran nodded slowly, taking in her words. He realized that the AI's announcement had forced him out of his comfort zone, but it had also given him an unexpected opportunity. He was beginning to see Lila not just as a visitor or diplomat, but as a person he could trust and enjoy being around. As the 30 minutes passed, the AI finally concluded the social interaction. Protocol segment completed. Married couple acknowledged by crew. Next segment, rest period and personal time. Duration, 60 minutes. Kiran let out a long breath of relief. "Finally," he said, smiling at Lila. "I think I can handle a break now." Lila laughed softly. "Yes, a break is good. But remember, the AI is still observing. We must remain calm and polite." Kiran smiled weakly, realizing that his life on the station had changed in a single morning. A small joke about a smile had brought him into a situation he could never have imagined. And despite his initial panic, he felt a curious excitement. As they walked to a quieter section of the station, Kiran glanced at Lila. "I suppose we will figure out how to fix this eventually," he said. Lila nodded. "Yes, but for now, let's survive it together. It may not be so bad after all." Kiran realized she was right. Life on the station was unpredictable, full of technology, politics, and now unexpected personal connections. He felt ready to face whatever came next, as long as Lila was by his side. And so, the chaos of the morning turned into an unusual partnership. Kiran's joke had set everything in motion, but it also opened a door to something new and unexpected. A single smile, a single comment, and suddenly his life was no longer as predictable as it once had been. After the hectic morning, Kiran and Lila found themselves alone in a quieter corridor of the space station. The AI had allowed a short break, recognizing that even married couples needed time to rest. Kiran leaned against the wall and let out a deep breath. His mind was still spinning from the morning's chaos. He had never imagined that a simple joke could lead to a full ceremonial announcement, a public statement, and shared activities with Lila. Lila watched him quietly, a small smile playing on her lips. "You look exhausted," she said softly. "I suppose being married is harder than it seems." Kiran shook his head, trying to smile back. "I didn't even know how serious this AI would take my joke. I mean, one comment about your smile, and suddenly, everyone thinks we are a real couple." Lila chuckled lightly. "It is unusual, but perhaps it is a good opportunity to learn about each other. Sometimes the unexpected can bring the most interesting experiences." Kiran frowned thoughtfully. "Learn about each other? We hardly know each other. I'm an engineer who spends most of my time with machines, and you're a diplomat from Earth, visiting for important negotiations." Lila tilted her head. "Exactly. So now we have a chance to see each other in a way no one else would. We are learning to work together, communicate, and understand each other. That is valuable, even if the situation started as a joke." Kiran considered her words. She was right. They had spent the morning performing tasks together, following AI protocols, and even sharing a meal in a ceremonial setting. He had noticed how efficiently she handled each situation, calmly analyzing problems, and offering clear solutions. He realized that her intelligence was matched by her patience and good humor. The AI's voice suddenly echoed through the corridor. Attention, married couple protocol resumes. Next segment, collaborative exercise to demonstrate unity and problem solving. Location, engineering lab. Duration, 90 minutes. Kiran groaned quietly. I guess there is no rest for the temporarily married, he muttered. Lila smiled reassuringly. It is okay. We can handle this together. Follow my lead, and it will be easier than you think. They walked to the engineering lab, where a set of small robotic drones awaited them. The task was simple in theory. They had to assemble a complex device designed to enhance the station's communications network. The AI emphasized that the exercise was meant to showcase teamwork, trust, and coordination. Kiran immediately felt more comfortable in this environment. This was his area of expertise, and he could contribute his skills. Lila observed him carefully and then began assisting with minor adjustments. Together, they worked step by step, their actions coordinated by trial and observation. Kiran noticed that Lila asked questions not because she did not understand, but because she wanted to learn how he thought. Why do you adjust that gear first? She asked. Kiran smiled. It's more efficient this way. The rest depends on it. Watch this part carefully. As they progressed, Kiran realized that their combined skills were complementary. Lila had an eye for details he might overlook, and her logical reasoning helped him find solutions he had not considered. By the time the exercise ended, the device was fully assembled, working perfectly. The AI's voice spoke again. Observation, married couple demonstrates cooperation and efficiency above standard expectation. Commendable performance noted. Kiran felt a small sense of pride, but more than that, he felt a surprising satisfaction in working with Lila. It was strange, but he began to enjoy her company. He realized that even though the marriage was a result of a misunderstanding, there was something rewarding in navigating this unusual situation together. After the exercise, they moved to a lounge area for a short debrief. The lounge overlooked the planet below, where Solara's oceans shimmered in the sunlight, and the clouds moved gracefully across the surface. Kiran took a seat near the window, while Lila joined him on the adjacent chair. You seem quieter now, Lila remarked. Are you thinking? Kiran nodded. Yes. I was thinking about how strange today has been. I never expected a joke to have this effect. And I am beginning to realize that I enjoy spending time with you, even if this whole thing is accidental. Lila's smile softened. I feel the same. It is unusual, but there is no reason we cannot make the most of the situation. We are learning about patience, understanding, and teamwork. These are qualities that matter in any relationship, temporary or permanent. Kiran chuckled lightly. I never thought I would say this, but I think this accidental marriage might be teaching me more about people than working with machines ever did. Lila laughed softly. Machines are predictable, Kiran. Humans are not. That is what makes life interesting. Even a mistake can lead to discovery if you are willing to observe and adapt. Kiran leaned back, looking at the swirling clouds of Solara below. He realized that the morning's events, as chaotic as they were, had created an opportunity. He had learned to think quickly, to adapt to unexpected circumstances, and to appreciate someone's presence in a new way. The AI's voice interrupted the quiet moment again. Attention, next protocol segment is a recreational activity designed to enhance emotional connection and understanding. Location, Zero Gravity Gym. Duration, 60 minutes. Kiran groaned again but smiled at Lila. Zero gravity recreation? That sounds fun, I think. Hopefully, it will be less formal than the previous segments. Lila grinned. It will be an opportunity to see each other in action without the pressure of ceremony. Let us enjoy it. In the gym, the gravity was reduced to near zero. Kiran and Lila floated carefully, adjusting to the sensation. The AI guided them through simple exercises designed to encourage cooperation, such as passing objects accurately, moving in synchronization, and maintaining balance while performing tasks. Kiran laughed as he struggled to catch a floating tool. Lila reached out and helped him steady it. "Careful," she said. "You are moving too fast." "I'm trying." Kiran laughed back. "This is harder than it looks." As they floated through the exercises, Kiran realized that working with Lila in this setting was strangely relaxing. They joked, they laughed, and they learned to anticipate each other's movements. For the first time, Kiran felt a sense of connection beyond the rules and protocols. After the exercises, they rested on a platform, looking at the stars outside the gym's observation windows. Kiran felt calmer than he had since the morning began. "You know," he said softly, "I think I am starting to understand what you meant about learning from unexpected situations. Today has been unpredictable, stressful, and yet I feel like I am discovering something new about myself." Lila smiled warmly. "Yes. Sometimes, the most unusual events reveal the best lessons. We are learning about trust, patience, and understanding each other. That is valuable, no matter how the situation started." Kiran nodded, feeling a quiet sense of gratitude. He realized that while the AI's misunderstanding had created chaos, it had also given him a chance to grow. And through it all, Lila's presence had made the experience meaningful. As they left the zero-gravity gym, Kiran felt a renewed sense of determination. Tomorrow, they would face more protocol segments, more public attention, and more challenges. But he knew that with Lila by his side, he could handle anything. The accidental marriage had brought them together in an unexpected way, and he was beginning to appreciate the possibilities that lay ahead. For Kiran, the day's lessons were clear. Even a single joke could change everything. And even in a strange, chaotic situation, there was room for connection, learning, and perhaps something more. The calm of the space station did not last long. Just as Kiran and Lila were settling into a quiet moment after the zero-gravity exercises, alarms blared throughout the station. Red lights flashed along the corridors, and a deep, mechanical voice echoed across the decks. "Warning, external threat detected. Security protocols activated. All personnel report to designated safety stations." Kiran's heart raced. He looked at Lila, who was already moving with swift precision toward the control hub. "We need to see what's happening," she said firmly. "This is serious. Everyone's safety depends on quick decisions." Kiran nodded, following her. The AI had already sealed the outer docking bays and deployed the station's defense systems. Sensors indicated that a small fleet of rogue alien ships had approached Solara's orbit. Their intentions were unclear, but their presence was aggressive. "Do you have any idea what they want?" Kiran asked, scanning the tactical displays. Lila studied the readings carefully. "It's hard to say. They are not responding to communication attempts. It could be a scouting mission, a demand for resources, or an attack. We have to prepare for all possibilities." The AI's voice added, "Recommendation, coordinated response by engineering and command personnel to protect station integrity. Married couple protocol temporarily suspended due to emergency." Kiran felt a strange mix of relief and anxiety. The married couple situation was on hold, but now he faced something far more dangerous. "Lila," he said quietly, "I don't know if I can handle this. We're engineers and diplomats, not soldiers." Lila gave him a determined look. "We don't have to be soldiers. We just need to think, adapt, and use our skills. You know the station systems better than anyone. I can handle communications and strategy. Together, we can manage this." Kiran swallowed hard and nodded. They moved quickly to the engineering control deck. Panels blinked with urgent alerts, showing incoming ships and damage projections. Kiran began checking the station's defenses, shield generators, energy reserves, and robotic drones. Lila coordinated with the AI, sending instructions to station personnel and issuing warnings to the approaching ships. The first wave of small alien drones appeared on the sensors, moving at high speed toward the station. Kiran activated the automated defense systems. Robotic drones launched from the station, intercepting the intruders. Sparks and energy discharges lit up the holographic displays. Kiran guided additional drones manually, adjusting their paths to prevent collisions and optimize their defensive positions. "Your control is impressive," Lila said, her voice calm but firm. "You're keeping the drones coordinated. That will give the station a better chance to hold." Kiran felt a surge of focus. He realized that despite the panic, he could handle this. His skills mattered, and Lila's calm direction gave him confidence. Together, they became a team. Kiran monitored systems and made rapid adjustments, while Lila communicated with the AI and the crew, ensuring everyone was in position. A second wave of alien ships appeared, larger and faster. They seemed to be testing the station's shields. Kiran noticed that the energy shields were close to their limit. "We need to redistribute power," he said. "I can divert energy from non-essential systems to the shields, but it will take precise timing." Lila nodded. "I'll handle coordination with the AI. Give me the timing, and we can make it work." Working together, Kiran and Lila adjusted power levels, rerouted energy, and monitored system responses. The shields held just long enough to repel the second wave. Sparks flashed across the control panels as alarms continued to sound, but the station remained intact. Kiran looked at Lila, feeling a mixture of exhaustion and admiration. "We actually did it," he said, his voice tinged with disbelief. Lila smiled slightly. "We did, but the threat is not over. There may be more ships, or they might try a different approach. Stay alert." Minutes later, the AI announced a critical update. "Incoming larger vessel detected. Threat level, high. Tactical coordination required. All personnel advised to remain in secure positions." Kiran's heart pounded. He had not faced something this dangerous before. He glanced at Lila, who gave him a reassuring nod. "We handle it step by step. Focus on what you can control, Kiran. I will manage the rest." The alien vessel moved quickly into position, firing energy pulses toward the station. Kiran and Lila directed defensive drones to intercept. Some shots hit the shields, causing visible stress in the holographic projections. Kiran adjusted the drone formations, anticipating the alien attacks and redirecting power to the most vulnerable sections of the station. "Your calculations are perfect," Lila said, impressed. "I've never seen the system respond this efficiently." Kiran felt a surge of confidence. "We make a good team," he admitted. Lila nodded. "Yes. Even in chaos, cooperation works better than panic." As the battle continued, Kiran and Lila noticed a pattern in the alien attacks. The larger vessel focused on testing weak points, but it avoided full engagement. Lila realized it might be seeking something specific, perhaps information or resources rather than total destruction. "Maybe we can communicate," she suggested. "If they want something, we can offer alternatives. We don't have to fight blindly." Kiran hesitated but agreed. "All right. I'll maintain the shields and drones. You handle the communication attempt." Lila accessed the communication array and sent a series of universal signals, indicating peaceful intentions and readiness to negotiate. Moments passed. The alien vessel paused its attacks, scanning the station carefully. Then, a transmission came through, surprisingly clear. "We seek knowledge, not war," the alien voice said. We require information about the station's technology to continue our journey safely. We mean no harm if cooperation is provided. Kiran felt a wave of relief. So it wasn't a full attack. They just wanted guidance. Lila smiled at him. Exactly. Now we need to respond wisely. Offer what we can without compromising the station's security. Together, Kiran and Lila crafted a careful response, providing limited information about navigation and communication systems. The alien vessel acknowledged the transmission, then gradually retreated from Solara's orbit. The red lights stopped flashing, and alarms quieted. The station's shields returned to normal operation. Kiran slumped into a chair, exhausted. I can't believe we survived that, he said, letting out a long breath. Lila sat beside him, her own expression tired but calm. We did more than survive. We worked together, stayed focused, and protected everyone on the station. That is impressive, Kiran. You should be proud. Kiran looked at her and realized something important. In the chaos and danger, he had seen Lila's intelligence, patience, and courage up close. She had not only managed the situation but had helped him find his own strength. He felt a deep respect and a growing connection to her, stronger than the accidental marriage protocol that had started their unusual partnership. The AI's voice finally announced, "Emergency threat neutralized. All systems restored. Married couple protocol may now resume." Kiran glanced at Lila. I think we handled that pretty well. Maybe even better than the AI expected. Lila laughed softly. Yes, but let's not celebrate just yet. We still have protocols to follow. But for now, we can take a small moment to breathe. Kiran smiled, feeling a mix of relief and admiration. The day had started with a joke about a smile, escalated into an accidental marriage, and then turned into a life-or-death challenge. And through it all, he had discovered something unexpected about himself and about Lila. For the first time, Kiran realized that life on the station, no matter how controlled or predictable it seemed, could change in an instant. And sometimes, facing danger together revealed bonds that no ceremony alone could create. As Kiran and Lila looked out at Solara's glowing surface, the station calm once more, Kiran felt a quiet sense of gratitude. The chaos had shown him courage, teamwork, and a hint of something deeper. And though the morning had begun with a joke, the day had proven that even in unexpected situations, human strength and cooperation could overcome any challenge. After the threat from the alien fleet had passed, the space station slowly returned to its normal rhythm. The alarms were silenced, the red lights dimmed, and the crew resumed their duties. Kiran sat at a small table in the observation lounge, staring out at Solara's soft blue oceans. His hands still shook slightly from the adrenaline of the recent attack. Even though the danger was gone, he could not stop thinking about how close the station had come to disaster. Lila joined him, carrying 2 cups of warm beverages. She handed one to Kiran, and he took it gratefully. Thanks, he said quietly. I don't know if I could have handled all that without you. Lila smiled softly. And I couldn't have done it without you either. You kept the systems running perfectly. I knew I could trust you. Kiran felt a warmth in his chest he had not expected. All morning, he had been nervous, embarrassed, and stressed. But now, as he sat with Lila in the calm after the storm, he began to notice small things about her that he had never realized before. Her calm voice, her thoughtful gestures, the way she watched him with quiet understanding. It was different from anything he had experienced. Kiran started, unsure how to continue. He had never been good with words in personal situations. I never expected today to be like this. First, the joke, then the marriage announcement, and then the attack. It's a lot. Lila nodded, her eyes gentle. It is a lot. But it shows what we can do together. We learn to cooperate, to trust each other, and to face challenges side by side. That is more important than the protocol or the AI's rules. Kiran took a deep breath. You know, I think I like working with you. More than I expected. Not just because we had to. I mean, really. Lila's smile grew warmer. I feel the same, Kiran. I've been observing you all day. You are clever, resourceful, and you never gave up, even when things got dangerous. I admire that. Kiran felt his heart beat faster. It was strange to hear her say that. He had never thought someone could see him that way, especially after such an unusual beginning. I guess, even though our marriage started as a mistake, maybe it has given us something good, he said softly. Lila nodded. Yes. Sometimes accidents lead to the most meaningful experiences. We learned about each other, and perhaps something more than just friendship is growing. Kiran smiled, a little shyly. I think I want that. To really get to know you, not just because the AI says we're married, but because I want to. Lila's eyes sparkled. I want that too, Kiran. We have an opportunity to choose, even after all the chaos. That is what matters. For a moment, they sat in silence, watching Solaris slowly rotate beneath them. The planet's calm beauty contrasted with the adrenaline and chaos of the morning. Kiran felt a sense of peace he had not known in a long time. I suppose we should continue following the AI's protocol, Kiran said finally, smiling faintly. Even if it feels strange after everything that happened. Lila laughed softly. Yes. But perhaps now it will be easier. We understand each other better. We have learned to cooperate under pressure. Their next assignment was simple compared to the morning's chaos. The AI guided them through a ceremonial task, coordinating a small maintenance operation in the station's energy core. Though routine, it was meant to demonstrate continued partnership. As they worked together, Kiran noticed how natural their cooperation had become. Lila handed him tools before he even asked, and he adjusted machinery in ways that complemented her planning. They communicated with small nods and gestures, no words needed for some actions. The efficiency felt satisfying, and Kiran realized that he was enjoying the process. During a short break, Kiran leaned against the railing near the energy core observation window. You know, he said, before today, I would have never imagined being in a situation like this. A joke, a forced marriage, an alien attack, and now, sitting here, working with you. It's strange, but good. Lila smiled. Life is unpredictable, Kiran. That is what makes it interesting. Sometimes, the most unexpected events reveal who we truly are and what we value. Kiran looked at her, really looking at her. Her hair caught the soft light of the observation deck, her eyes reflected curiosity and intelligence, and her smile was the same one that had caused all this in the first place. He realized he wanted to be near that smile, not because of protocol, but because it made him feel calm, happy, and inspired. Lila, he said quietly, I think I'm starting to care about you. More than I expected. Not because the AI says we're married, but because of you. You're amazing. Lila's eyes softened. Kiran, I feel the same. I was hesitant at first, but now I see your courage, your intelligence, and your kindness. That is why I care about you too. Kiran felt a warmth spread through him. The stress, embarrassment, and chaos of the day seemed distant now. All that mattered was the connection they had formed, forged through unexpected events, teamwork, and shared experiences. The AI's voice interrupted briefly. Married couple protocol, social bonding segment completed successfully. Emotional development noted. Kiran chuckled softly. Even the AI is recognizing that something is happening between us. Lila laughed lightly. Perhaps it is learning faster than we thought. After the routine tasks were completed, Kiran and Lila returned to the observation lounge. They sat together quietly, enjoying the calm view of Solara. Kiran realized that he was no longer thinking about the chaos, the alien attack, or even the AI's rules. He was thinking about Lila, about her calm presence, her intelligence, and her smile. I never expected that one small joke about your smile could change my whole day, or maybe my whole life, Kiran admitted softly. Lila's hand brushed against his as she smiled. Sometimes, small moments make the biggest difference, Kiran. And sometimes, mistakes lead to the most important discoveries. Kiran took a deep breath. I think I want to keep discovering this, discovering you, and discovering us. No protocols, no AI rules. Just us. Lila looked at him with warmth and understanding. I want that too. We have a choice now, and I choose to explore it with you. For the first time that day, Kiran felt completely at ease. The morning's chaos, the alien threat, and the accidental marriage had all led to this moment, a genuine connection built on trust, respect, and mutual admiration. As they watched Solara's oceans glow in the sunlight, Kiran realized that the day had taught him a valuable lesson. Life was unpredictable, and sometimes the most unexpected events could bring people together in ways no one could foresee. And as he looked at Lila's warm, genuine smile, he knew that this was only the beginning of something extraordinary. The days after the alien threat passed were quieter, but the tension of the previous events lingered in the station. Kiran and Lila continued their tasks under the AI's observation, but now there was a new, unspoken understanding between them. They worked as a team, their cooperation seamless, yet something deeper had begun to grow. Kiran could not stop thinking about Lila, and he suspected she felt the same about him. One afternoon, Kiran found himself standing at the observation deck, staring at Solara's surface. The planet's calm oceans reflected the sunlight in soft shades of blue and green. He held a small device in his hand, nervously twisting it. It was a gesture of his own creation, a personal way to propose a choice, something that would respect interstellar law and also honor the feelings that had grown between them. Lila approached quietly, her presence gentle. You seem lost in thought, she said softly, a smile lighting her face. Kiran turned toward her, trying to hide his nervousness. I've been thinking, he said slowly. About everything that has happened. About us. About how this marriage started as a mistake, and yet, here we are. Lila nodded, her expression calm and understanding. Yes. It has been unusual, but we have learned a lot about each other. We understand each other better now than most people understand anyone. Kiran swallowed hard. Exactly. And that's why I wanted to do something different. Something meaningful. He held out the small device. It projected a holographic display of two intertwined rings, floating in soft golden light. Lila's eyes widened slightly. Kiran, what is this? Kiran took a deep breath. I want to ask you something, not because the AI says we're married, but because I want to. I want to choose you, Lila. If you want, we can make this real. Official, by choice, not by accident. Lila looked at him for a moment, her expression thoughtful. Then her smile grew warmer. Kiran, I've been waiting to hear that. I want the same. I want to choose us, not because of protocol or accidents, but because of what we've shared and what we feel. Kiran felt a rush of relief and joy. So, you accept? I accept, Lila said, her voice steady and full of warmth. Let's make our journey together, as partners by choice. The AI's voice, always calm and observant, interjected. Proposal and acceptance recognized. Official partnership status may be recorded according to interstellar law. Ceremony optional at location of couple's choosing. Kiran laughed softly. Optional is good. I don't need another ceremony right now. I just wanted this moment with you. Lila nodded, her hand brushing against his. This moment is enough. It is ours. They spent the next hours quietly, simply enjoying each other's company. For Kiran, every detail of Lila fascinated him, the way her eyes caught the light, the calm in her voice, the gentle confidence in her movements. He realized that the connection they had formed went far beyond the AI's protocols. It was built on trust, respect, and shared experiences. The AI suggested a small symbolic ceremony in the observation deck to officially record their partnership, but Kiran and Lila decided to keep it private. They wanted the significance to be in their choice, not in the formality of the station's records. Kiran guided Lila to stand beside him, and they looked out at Solara together. I never thought one joke about a smile could lead to this, Kiran said softly, smiling at her. And yet, it brought me to you. Lila laughed lightly. Sometimes life is unpredictable. And sometimes, the smallest actions have the biggest consequences. Kiran reached for her hand. I don't want to rely on accidents anymore. I want us to be together because we choose it, every day. Will you promise that with me? I promise, Lila said firmly, her fingers interlacing with his. We will choose each other, no matter what happens. The AI's voice, ever precise, remarked, partnership confirmed. Emotional bonds recognized. Protocol adjusted to accommodate personal choice. Kiran felt a wave of happiness. The AI's acknowledgement was secondary to him. The important thing was that he and Lila had made a conscious choice to be together. No protocol, no misunderstandings, no accidents, just their own decision. Over the next days, Kiran and Lila found a new rhythm. They continued their work on the station, coordinating maintenance, assisting visiting diplomats, and testing new technologies. But now, every task was infused with a sense of partnership. They anticipated each other's needs, shared insights freely, and supported each other in ways that made even routine work enjoyable. Kiran discovered that he learned faster when Lila guided him through unfamiliar systems. Her logical reasoning complemented his technical skills perfectly. Lila, in turn, relied on Kiran's quick thinking and creativity to navigate challenges that required improvisation. Together, they became more efficient than either could have been alone. One evening, as they watched the stars from the observation deck, Kiran spoke softly. You know, Lila, I think the AI taught us something unexpected. Not just how to cooperate, but how to appreciate each other, even in unusual circumstances. Lila smiled, leaning slightly against him. Yes. And we learned that choice matters. Even when life throws unexpected situations at us, we can still choose how to respond and who we become with each other. Kiran felt a sense of peace he had never known. The chaos of the past days, the accidental marriage, the alien attack, all of it had led to this moment of understanding and connection. He realized that life on the station, with all its technology and rules, had become meaningful because of Lila. I think we're ready for whatever comes next, Kiran said, his hand brushing against hers. Together. Lila nodded. Together. No accidents, no protocols. Just us. The AI, ever vigilant, finally acknowledged the change in status. Married couple protocol updated. Partnership confirmed by mutual choice. Observation, human emotional development progressing as expected. Recommendation, continue monitoring, encourage collaboration. Kiran laughed softly. I think we can manage the monitoring ourselves. Lila smiled, her eyes warm. Yes. We can manage everything, as long as we face it together. For the first time in many days, Kiran felt a true sense of calm. The uncertainty of the station, the alien threats, and even the AI's strict rules no longer dominated his thoughts. What mattered was their choice, their connection, and their shared determination to be together by mutual decision. As they stood together, looking at the swirling clouds and oceans of Solara, Kiran realized that the day had brought more than just safety or protocol compliance. It had brought understanding, respect, and the chance to choose love and partnership freely. And in that quiet moment, he knew that whatever challenges the station, the galaxy, or life itself would bring, they would face them side by side, as equals, as partners, and as a team built on choice and trust. The days on the station grew calm once more, and Kiran and Lila settled into a new routine. Their partnership, now officially recognized by mutual choice, brought a quiet joy to their work. They coordinated projects, guided visiting diplomats, and maintained the station's complex systems. But beyond the responsibilities, a deeper bond had formed, one built on trust, understanding, and shared experiences. One morning, Kiran woke earlier than usual. The soft light from Solara's surface filled the observation deck. He watched the planet slowly rotate, shimmering with shades of blue and green. For the first time in days, he felt fully awake, fully aware of what had changed in his life. He glanced at Lila, who was reviewing reports at her station. She looked calm, focused, and completely herself. Kiran felt a swell of admiration. He approached her quietly. "Lila," he said softly, "I was thinking, now that we've chosen to be together, maybe we can decide how we want to live our life here on the station. No AI protocol dictating our actions. Just us." Lila looked up, her eyes warm. "I've been thinking the same thing, Kiran. We have a chance to build our own life, our own routine, and enjoy our partnership fully." Kiran smiled. "I was thinking we could start by creating a shared workspace. Somewhere we can plan projects, explore ideas, and spend time together without distractions. A place that is ours." Lila's eyes lit up. "I like that idea. A place for collaboration and creativity. It will help us grow both professionally and personally." They spent the morning rearranging a section of the observation deck. Tools, devices, and holographic displays were positioned to allow both of them to work side by side efficiently. Kiran adjusted some engineering consoles while Lila organized communications and project data. As they worked together, the ease of their partnership became clear. They anticipated each other's needs, exchanged ideas effortlessly, and laughed quietly at small mistakes or surprises. During a brief pause, Kiran leaned against the railing near the window. "You know, I never imagined one small joke about your smile could lead to this," he said, smiling at Lila. Lila laughed softly. "Sometimes the smallest moments have the biggest impact. And now, we get to shape our future together." Kiran felt a warm certainty. The morning's calm and the shared work had reinforced what he already knew: Lila had become an essential part of his life. "I want to make sure we spend time enjoying life too, not just work," he said. "Exploring the station, looking at Solara, even small things like meals together. I don't want to miss any of it." Lila nodded. "Agreed. Life is not only about duty. It's also about connection and discovery. We have the rest of our lives to explore both." Later, the AI announced a routine system check, but Kiran and Lila treated it lightly, using the task as an opportunity to experiment with creative improvements. Kiran suggested modifications to the energy distribution system, while Lila proposed a more efficient communication relay setup. As they tested their ideas, they discovered that their combined thinking produced results neither could achieve alone. "See," Lila said with a smile. "Teamwork works even better than I imagined. And it feels effortless with you." Kiran laughed softly. "I feel the same way. I never knew working with someone could be this enjoyable." As the day passed, they found moments to simply enjoy each other's company. They shared a quiet meal in the observation lounge, watching Solara's oceans sparkle in the sunlight. Kiran realized how much he had come to appreciate Lila's calm presence, her intelligence, and her kindness. She had become more than a partner in work, she was a partner in life. That evening, Kiran and Lila took a slow walk through the station's gardens. The AI had designed the gardens to simulate Solara's natural environment, with soft sunlight, flowing water, and fragrant plants. The air was calm, and the gentle sounds of flowing streams added serenity to the moment. "Do you remember the first day?" Kiran asked softly. The joke, the AI's announcement, and all the chaos that followed. Lila nodded, smiling. "How could I forget? It was unexpected, stressful, and yet it led us to something meaningful." Kiran took her hand in his. "I've realized something important. Even though the beginning was a mistake, it gave me the chance to meet you, to understand you, and to appreciate you. I want every day after this to be meaningful too, with you by my side." Lila's eyes softened. "I feel the same, Kiran. That first day was unexpected, but it taught us patience, trust, and understanding. And it gave us the choice to be together. I want that too." As they walked, Kiran stopped near a small fountain. He looked at Lila, his expression serious but full of warmth. "Lila, we've chosen each other, and we've already started building our life together. But I want you to know that I will always choose you, every day, no matter what comes next. I promise to support you, respect you, and face every challenge with you by my side." Lila's smile was bright and genuine. "And I promise the same, Kiran. Together, we can handle anything. I will always choose you too." They stood quietly, hand in hand, looking at the flowing water and the glowing lights of Solara beyond the station. The moment was calm, intimate, and filled with a sense of certainty. The chaos, the AI's strict protocols, and even the alien threat seemed far away. What mattered now was the bond they had formed and the life they had chosen to build together. Over the next weeks, Kiran and Lila continued their work on the station, but every action carried a sense of partnership and mutual respect. They explored new projects, shared quiet moments in the gardens, and celebrated small successes together. The crew, who had once been curious about the accidental marriage, now respected the genuine partnership that had formed. One evening, as they stood at the observation deck watching Solara's twin moons rise, Kiran realized something profound. Life on the station, with all its technology, rules, and unpredictability, had become richer because of their connection. The accidental joke, the AI's misunderstanding, and the alien threat had all led them to this point, a life built on choice, trust, and love. "I never imagined it would turn out like this," Kiran said softly. Lila squeezed his hand. "Neither did I. But now, we have the chance to shape our future, and that is more exciting than anything I could have planned." Kiran smiled, feeling a deep sense of peace. "Together, we can handle anything." "Together," Lila agreed, leaning her head slightly on his shoulder. As the station hummed softly around them and Solara's light reflected in their eyes, Kiran knew that their journey was just beginning. They had faced accidents, challenges, and danger, but they had emerged stronger, united, and ready for whatever the galaxy would bring. And in that moment, Kiran realized that sometimes, life's most unexpected moments, like a joke about a smile, could lead to the most extraordinary beginnings. Hand in hand, Kiran and Lila looked toward the stars, ready to face the future together, not by accident, not by protocol, but by choice. The story concludes here, with Kiran and Lila forming a genuine partnership, embracing their life together, and leaving a hopeful, satisfying ending.